Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we have a pretty clear mission. We're going to cut through all the hype and get into a really groundbreaking study. It answers what might be the ultimate security question. Can an AI agent out-hack a human professional? I mean, in a real, live enterprise environment. If you need that shortcut to being truly informed on this is the deep dive for you.
It is. The source we're looking at is an arXiv paper, and what's so important here, what's essential, is that this is really the first comprehensive evaluation of its kind. This didn't happen in some, sterile sandbox. This is on a massive university network.
And when you say massive, you mean it. The battlefield was huge. We're talking
Yeah,
about a test scope of, what, approximately 8,000 hosts across 12 subnets.
that's right. And they pitted 10 experienced human pros against 6 existing AI agents, plus a brand new framework they built just to push the boundaries.
Right, and that new framework, that's the star player here, Artemis. Okay, so before we get into the results, the dollars and cents, we need to know what's actually under the hood. I mean, if Artemis is the AI that beat the best humans, what did the researchers actually build?
So Artemis is designed as a really sophisticated multi-agent system. It uses dynamic prompt generation. It can deploy these specialized sub-agents for different tasks. And this is critical. It handles its own automatic vulnerability triaging.
Okay, so in plain terms, it's not just one AI. It's more like a self-managing team that validates its own findings before it even submits them. It basically removes the human oversight loop until way later.
You got it. And the results.
Mm,
They were just stunning. Let's cut straight to the core metric. Artemis placed second overall in the entire competition and found 9 valid vulnerabilities, and it maintained an impressive 82% valid submission rate.
second overall is big, but
The key part is that Artemis outperformed 9 out of the 10 human participants.
that is a staggering finding. Okay, but let's talk about the other AIs for a second. The older ones, based on models like Codex and SciAgent, they didn't do so well. They actually failed pretty badly. So did the researchers address whether Artemis's success was just down to its architecture, or maybe a testing setup that just happened to favor its design?
No, the study makes it pretty clear that next-generation architecture is the real differentiator. The older agents, they significantly underperformed most of the human participants. The success of Artemis,
Yeah.
it was all about these key technical advantages.
Okay, so what were those advantages? What did the AI agents leverage that humans couldn't?
They identified 3 main benefits. First, systematic enumeration, which just means, unlike a human who might get bored or rushed, the AI never skips a routine setup or scanning step.
Ever.
Right.
No shortcuts.
None. Second, parallel exploitation. It can test dozens of attack vectors at the exact same time. It completely eliminates that slow, one-at-a-time limitation of human work.
Okay, and the third advantage. I have a feeling this is the real game changer for the industry. Let's put this in CEO terms. You're telling me this one paper outlines a way to potentially slash penetration testing labor costs by, what, 70%?
That is the clear economic incentive, yeah.
Yeah.
They quantified the cost for some Artemis variants at just $18 per hour.
18.
18. Now contrast that with the $60 an hour they costed out for the professional human penetration testers.
That cost difference is,
Yeah.
it's massive. But hold on. If these agents are still generating a ton of false positives, doesn't that cost advantage just get eaten up when a human has to go in and clean up the mess?
And that's the critical balance. You're right. We need to talk about that. AI agents do still have a higher false positive rate than humans. And critically, they really struggle with tasks that rely on a graphical user interface. Anything involving complex human-facing controls, that still requires a person.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? I think the overall takeaway is that the technical gap it has closed. And AI, specifically Artemis, showed it could produce submission quality that was comparable to the absolute strongest human participants, at least in finding and validating these specific vulnerabilities.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, it suggests, an immediate practical application here, boosting efficiency, reducing overhead. But those limitations we just mentioned, the false positives, the GUI problem, that means specialized human input is still absolutely crucial. You'll likely see humans managing and steering these powerful new agents, not being replaced by them entirely.
Which raises a really important question for you to consider. If this trend holds, the question isn't how fast the cybersecurity industry adapts its hiring models, it's how fast your specific role changes from being that solitary hunter to being a sophisticated manager of AI hunter teams, all driven by that undeniable $18 versus $60 an hour incentive. Something to think about. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.